Welcome back to Ripe Avocados. Today we're going to do Begonia. I think I pronounced that right. New movie with Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone and a few others. Stavros Halkias. He's becoming a big time actor now, I guess. So let's jump into this one and hear what it was about.
Daydream, I fell asleep amid the flowers for a couple of hours on a beautiful day.
So the movie Begonia is basically if you took just one of the many conspiracy theorists and psychotic people you see on Instagram Reels or in Reddit threads, if you took him and made him even more extreme to the point where he will actually act out on the things he'll do, and he's dragging along his super innocent friend Donnie, who is just has nothing else going in life, and will just follow whatever Teddy, Jesse Plemons' character, says. And they basically kidnap the CEO, Emma Stone, of a major pharmaceutical company because they believe that she is an alien and trying to kill humanity. And the whole movie is Jesse Plemons rattling off the most conspiracy theorist sounding arguments the whole time. And as a viewer, you're watching it being like, holy shit, he's literally just torturing Emma Stone this whole time. Shaves her head off, bashes her kneecap in, and shit starts to unfold more and more throughout the story. And you're really rooting for Emma Stone pretty much the whole time. You're like, Jesus Christ, Jesse Plemons is just the craziest motherfucker ever, until the very end where it's revealed that Emma Stone is in fact an Andromeda.
Yeah, let's get into entertainment here. I really like this movie. I know you did. Would you say this is top movie of the year or top?
It's my favorite movie this year, I think.
Okay.
And I've been combing back through my brain the movies I've seen this year. There's a couple that pop out to me. I really liked Warfare. I thought Sinners was good, but I think Begonia takes the cake for me, at least right now. I don't know what else is coming out this year, but Begonia
we got Avatar. Avatar coming up. That could.
I could care less.
I mean, maybe. I don't think it was my favorite movie, but I would say it's top 5 for sure. The only one I like Weapons more, but I think it was pretty close.
I knew you would.
I think it was pretty close to Weapons. Honestly, similar tone to Weapons too. It's not as scary, but it's pretty graphic and violent at times for sure.
Oh yeah.
And the only other one I might consider more is the One Battle After Another. But honestly, I kind of like this movie a little more, I think. But those are like my top 3 of the year. But I would still say Weapons was my personal favorite. But that doesn't mean this movie was poor entertainment-wise. Like, I was glued to my seat. No bathroom breaks. It's not that long either. I think it's under an hour 50 or an hour 55, which was good. But just a very interesting original plot that worked out, you know?
Well, actually not original. I think it's technically a remake, an English remake of the South Korean film Save the Green Planet. That was released in 2003.
Okay.
Or at least very similar plot lines. Because that movie, Save the Green Planet, it's about a guy that I think kidnaps his co-worker who he believes is an alien. Or something along those lines. I've never seen the movie, but that's what I've read.
All right. Well, regardless, first iteration of Bugonia, but it's not a story I was familiar with whatsoever. I didn't watch the trailer really at all. I didn't know much about it. I just knew that Emma Stone was going to get kidnapped once I read a short little bio on it. But just a lot of stuff to unpack with this movie. I mean, there is. The beginning is almost, it's just narrated by Jesse Plemons, and he was so good, so fucking good in this movie. I've always kind of not disliked him. I've just thought he was good, didn't move the needle for me in any real way. Everyone knows
he's always great in those like certain character roles. like in
Yeah,
Game Night or in Civil War,
I've never
even in
even
that
seen.
show with Elizabeth Olsen.
Okay, yeah.
He plays good roles, but I never saw him as, I guess, the lead actor.
Hmm.
But I think him and Emma Stone, they might get Oscar noms for this movie
They
because
definitely will. I think
yeah,
Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons were like the defining roles of the movie. We could talk
yeah,
more about them in characters, but I think they made the movie very interesting. There's a lot of dialogue in this movie, honestly. There's just a lot of confrontation, like torture methods, but not really too much torture aside from the high voltage scene. He's not waterboarding her. For the most part, she's just in solitude and trying to negotiate her way out
and
of.
bald.
Yeah, bald. I mean, it's not like they are kidnapping her. They are treating her like a prisoner,
Yes,
and it really just drives this question the whole time you're watching it. You're trying to fathom whether or not she's actually an alien. And to be honest, I kind of assumed she was an alien when he originally said this because it was just so far fetched and I didn't really know where it was going to go. But then it leads really into Emma Stone's acting ability. She has these really coy, odd answers to some questions, and Jesse Plemons never is phased by anything that she says. Like he is on his shit from the get go. He was right the whole time. And
yes.
I always kind of thought he was gonna be right in that instance. I didn't know how it was gonna unravel at all. And I think that's why it was such an entertaining movie. I did not expect the brother or the cousin to kill himself. I did not expect
Donnie. Yeah.
that whole thing to unravel like it did.
That such a sad scene too.
Very
I
sad.
mean, Donnie's character in itself was such a tragic character.
Right.
Like he
Let's go to
clearly,
characters now. Let's just talk about the characters.
yeah, Donnie. Like before we start glazing Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons even more, I want to touch on some of the side characters like Donnie. I thought he was played really well. I don't know the actor's name, but such a tragic character. Like clearly, I mean, it's known he has some sort of disability, learning disability, and he's just kind of this innocent soul that is dragged along by Jesse Plemons' character. And Jesse Plemons puts him through the fucking ringer. I mean, he chemically castrates him. He's forcing him basically to kidnap Emma Stone and have her locked up in the basement, hold a shotgun to make sure she doesn't leave or do anything crazy. I mean, this kid is being put through the absolute ringer. And you just feel so sorry for him. But at the end of the day, it's like he just loves Jesse Plemons so much, like to a fault, to where he will just listen to whatever he says. And in the end, that's what gets him to kill himself. It's
Yeah.
such a sad storyline to see unfold. And even when you get to the end where it is true, Emma Stone is an alien, Jesse Plemons was right all along, you still don't get that sense of gratification because A, Emma Stone and the Andromedons end up killing the human race anyways. The means by which Jesse Plemons got his answer, I mean, like, he was torturing her. He had killed and tortured and dissected and experimented on numerous other people, probably regular humans, but also apparently two other Andromedons that he killed. Like, he's been doing this for a while now, and it's just this grotesque method to find this answer that he's trying to search for. And even if he doesn't even get the answer at the end of it.
No.
He fucking blows himself up.
Yeah. And I liked how that scene was shot too because I don't really think I think it's left for interpretation. This is how I thought of it. Did she actually send him through that portal and his bomb just like reacted to it? I think that's really what happens.
This is what I was thinking too, because I was trying to figure out why it exploded. She sends him into the closet, and she's already backing away.
Yeah.
So she knows she feels that something is going to go wrong here. And I think what happens is when she ends up going through the portal at the end, the teleporter to get back to her mothership, that cutscene where it's just like it looks like cells forming, it looks very molecular, and then she rises out of that liquid goo. It looks like she's reborn again. So I think what the teleporter did was kind of break all the cells down and then reform them in the ship, which is what Emma Stone did tell Jesse Plemons. She's like, we can't both go through at the same time, or else we might merge together on the other side. So I think what happened was it just broke his body down and set off the explosion, which is what killed.
Yeah, that's a good way to interpret it. It was a good point. Like, she does back away, so she knew something was going to happen there. And, yeah, I mean, R.I.P. to Donnie. He did not deserve any of that.
No.
And, yeah, I mean, this movie was just very, very interesting. Donnie was probably my favorite character. The other character that they do touch on a lot is their mother, or Jesse Plemons' mother. That part I didn't completely fathom. Like, let's talk through that. So I was under the impression that she was an Andromenon or an alien, which is why she was like levitating or whatever. But it just turns out Emma Stone was doing some sort of experiment on her and caused her to levitate.
So the pharmaceutical, this is how I interpret it. The pharmaceutical company that Emma Stone runs was developing a new drug that they were testing on Sandy, Jesse Plemons' mother, because she was coming off opioids or addicted to opioids, and they were giving her this new drug
She was
to
a
try
worker
to help
bee.
her out. Yes. Except the new drug kind of put her into this catatonic state or vegetative state, and you see her just lying in the hospital bed later in the movie before Jesse Plemons ices her with antifreeze. But I think those black and white scenes where it's a flashback with Jesse Plemons with his mom, especially the one standing outside the headquarters with her floating away, I think that was more metaphorical to the whole situation. It was him like holding on to her like a balloon, and you keep seeing her slip out of his grasp. So I think it was more just sort of an analogy to this whole idea that these big corporations will just, it doesn't matter that their drug ended up putting his mother into a vegetative state. Like the whole time, Emma Stone's whole spiel during that black and white scene is like, hey, we'll pay for all those services, don't worry about it. And she's feeding him all this big pharma bullshit. Exactly. And you see him trying to hold on to the balloon, which is his mother, but it's just slipping further and further out of his grasp.
Yeah.
I
that's
gotta
a good way to
stop
put
doing
it.
this motion.
Yeah, it looks like you're like jerking off a giant or something.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish they explained that a little more, but I did like how it was thrown in there, because for a portion of the movie, I was thinking that Jesse Plemons was an Andromedan and his mom was one. That's why she was levitating, and he was just not accepting that he was one of them. And I don't know. My mind was racing, but that's why this movie was so good, because I could not put together the pieces really until the end. And
Yeah.
I
love a movie that just makes me think, makes me want to dive into the Reddit threads with the conspiracy theorists that Jesse Plemons is. I want to dive into those threads and read more about what people have to say.
Yeah.
I think that whole spiel on his mother and her tie-in with the pharma company and Emma Stone is just the fact that Jesse Plemons, in his mind, his reasoning for, or the conclusion he came to was, Emma Stone killed my mother. This drug killed my mother. This company killed my mother. They don't give a shit about humans. And I'm going to work out this theory to figure out how this lady is so evil. And I don't think she can be this evil and be a human. She has to be an alien. And I think he came to that conclusion, and then that is what set this whole track in motion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good point. The mannerisms of Emma Stone too.
Yeah.
especially after she gets out of that ambulance. Like, unbelievable acting. She's like moving her leg. They probably sped it up. I don't really know how they shot that, but she just was, I mentioned how she had these like kind of odd, very odd reactions to things to make it seem like she was chat GBT just talking to somebody almost. Like she opens her mouth really wide and gasps at something, and she's just so good at playing this like I could not figure out if she is just so corporate woman, like I am going to work my way out of this any way I can, so I'm going to pretend I'm an alien and just feed him anything that he wants to hear. But then the look in her eye when she is seeing that Jesse Plemons is actually like onto her and having to just try to survive in this situation, but she's almost like too calm the whole time she's captured. She's not ever really that worried until a certain set of things happens. But even after she's electrocuted and he shoots himself in the head, she's still compliant with Jesse Plemons and takes him to the office and has this whole intricate plan. Because I think she just knows that, I mean, she was right. Her technology and her people are able to, her alien comrades are able to, have her back and wipe out the human race, and she gets whatever she wants out of it. And I don't know. There's just a lot to unpack here.
No, 100%. And I think it all goes credit to that. As a viewer, when you're watching it and you're battling within your own mind, okay, is she an alien? Is she not? Is Jesse Plemons correct? Is he just a fucking psychopath? All credit to Emma Stone's acting, but also Yorgos, the director. That scene in the beginning where they show Emma Stone's character getting ready in the morning, very regimented, but then also at the office, right at the beginning, doing that diversity, inclusivity, whatever
bullshit
training thing. Yes, exactly. And she's literally just like, she's so on the money in her speech, but then she can flip out of that any time. Mm-hmm. And I think that just speaks to how, big corporations nowadays, they don't give a fuck about the little people. No. They don't give two shits about anyone, right? They just try to save face, and they know how to talk. They know how to bullshit. So throughout this whole movie, you can't tell if Emma Stone is tapping into that, or if she's actually afraid for her life, or if she's trying to manipulate the situation in her favor so she can get out, or is she really a fucking alien? Who knows?
Yeah.
It wasn't for me until Jesse Plemons leaves to... I don't know why I'm laughing. Jesse Plemons leaves to dump antifreeze into his mom's IV and kills her. And he comes back, and by that time, Emma Stone has found the secret doorway in his basement and seen all the people he's killed and the two Andromedons. When he comes back to the house, her eyes, her tone, everything shifted for me. And in that scene, I think that's when I really knew that she was truly an alien.
Yeah.
Because she genuinely seemed... I don't even know if the word is scared, but just like in awe. In awe in a good and bad way.
Yeah,
she couldn't believe that Jesse Plemons has gone to the extent to figure out if Andromedons were real. She couldn't believe that a human had done all this horrific things just to figure this out. And I mean, in the end, it was the ultimate reason for her ending the human race.
Right. I think the natural human response to what she saw would have been fright or flight. And I get that her ankle was all fucked up, or her knee, but she's sitting there in the basement just waiting for him to come back, you know? And she has this time, like, he's just biking. I'm assuming it's not that far, but, she can... A normal human would just try and get out of there and find any sort of way to get help. And after she's seeing all these bodies, she's not even like audibly gasping. She's just like, "Oh, okay, that looks like
that's what I mean."
She's
like in awe of all the research and time he's put into this crazy theory. She's flipping through all the notes and the pictures and whatnot, It's like she couldn't believe her eyes.
Yeah, she couldn't believe that an inferior race was able to comprehend all of this. And another neat thing too is there's only one portion of time where she actually goes at Jesse Plemons for things that a high-powered CEO would do to another human, to like try and belittle them and shit. She calls him like a loser or whatever when they're fighting. Like she's like, I'm the winner, like I'm gonna kill you or whatever. But she only says that like one time, and I think the natural human
She
response,
calls him an echo chamber.
yeah, the natural human response initially would just be like, "Where, like, let me fucking out of here." And she says that, but in an alien ET type of way. She's like, "This is how things are going to process all of this, and that." And I chopped it up as, yeah, I guess she's a corporate woman, but like I said, I just thought she was an alien from the beginning, because partially because you said it was such a good movie, so I was like, this has to be going somewhere. And we also had the, let's get into cinematography here. But actually,
Yeah.
the one last thing I want to say is I think Emma Stone is the greatest actress of this generation. I don't think I'd say maybe Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt's great. She comes to mind. Meryl Streep, I'm not counting her. Emma Stone is so good at acting. You could not. The only other who else could have played that specific role and made this movie what it was?
Bella Ramsey.
Yeah. You know what I mean, though? I think
Yes.
those dynamics.
I
Jesse,
agree 100%.
Jesse Plemons too was phenomenal. I'm such a good actor too, very good. I think the light should be on Emma Stone as well, just because she's the biggest name in this movie, obviously. But Jesse Plemons too. I mean, I was rooting for him at times. Like when he kills his mom by accident, I felt bad for the guy, and he was doing horrible atrocities the whole time. But you can empathize a ton with him. It's probably just because he's a human. He doesn't really want. All he wants is to protect the human race. That's like his actual goal. He has terrible methods, and he's not the smartest guy, really. He just figured something out, and he was so stubborn on this method, which is such a human trait, that it ended up killing him. And
Yeah.
I think that was just a
But-
really realistic way to write that.
No, 100%. And I think that's what's so great about the movie. It's you're bouncing back and forth between the two evils almost. You don't want to root for the big corporate head.
Nah,
But
I'm fucking
she's
team
being-
human. I'm team
But
human.
she's
Fuck the
human
aliens.
race on top.
Yeah.
Or
Come
actually not
conquer
on
us.
top at the
Come
end.
conquer us. See what happens.
Hey, we'll send LeBron James to the front line. What the fuck are you talking about? But no, you're rooting for the lesser of two evils here. You have this giant corporate head, but she's being held captive by two crazy conspiracy theorists. But on the flip side,
Like one.
this corporate head,
Donnie's not a conspiracy theorist.
you're right. He's just tagging along. But on the flip side, like, she runs this giant corporation that ends up being the reason why Jesse Plemons' mom is in a vegetative state. Like, they don't give a fuck about the regular 9-to-5 person
Nah.
at all.
No.
But on the flip side, Jesse Plemons is a fucking psychopath.
Yes, he is.
Like, 100%.
Also,
a serial killer, a psychopath. Like,
He's not a
but
good
he's
guy.
also, but then again, he's also had such a tragic life. It's like, Jesus Christ, you feel bad for him at times.
Yeah.
Fucking sexually assaulted by Stavros.
Yeah.
And his mom dying or in that vegetative state. He lives in a fucking shithole.
Right.
Like, he's just got the worst life ever.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of True Detective Season 1 when they go to Earl Childress's house at the end. There was a lot of inklings of that. They're very accustomed to the land. They're beekeeping. He has like a couple odd jobs here and there. And I think they just took a lot of time making the setting. I honestly think the first thing they had to do was figure out what Jesse's character was going to look like, and they nailed that right on the head. Those two characters just drive the movie. Him and Emma Stone's character.
Yeah.
It's
1A, 1B.
yeah. Let's do cinematography, because that was fantastic too.
Loved it.
I mean, it's shot kind of like it kind of was shot like weapons a lot to me. A lot of these, we had some of these like zoomed in 2D angles. Like when he's killing Stavros, that shit was straight out of weapons to me. Or any sort of these like neon Blumhouse horror movies where it's very quick camera shots, like extremely vibrant colors mixed with like this vast landscape. Kind of that scene kind of reminded me of like Midsummer a little bit. I don't know if you got that same connection. Just gross gore and over the top crazy shit going on. When he climbs across the table, that was shot so well, so fucking well. I was like, what is going to happen? We're not even going to show you Emma Stone's face until he's attacking her.
Yeah.
I mean, just the color scheme in general. I also loved the tie-in with the bees. I think that was very cool how they wrote that in the beginning. They do stuff like this all the time, and it doesn't always connect that well.
So the term begonia, I had to look this up. It refers back to Greek mythology, where there's this belief that if you sacrifice an ox without shedding blood and it dies, then bees will basically spawn in its body and then be released. So basically, like the sacrifice of this animal to birth new life. And
Okay.
I think
Jesse's the sacrifice.
I think that term really relates back to this whole idea of the Andromedons coming to Earth, right? And she mentions they accidentally kill off the
Dinosaurs.
native race, the dinosaurs, at the time, due to the diseases they brought. And because they felt so guilty, that's why they created the human race. And they tried to guide it and help them make the right decisions, but ultimately they couldn't. So I think in that sense, that was their begonia, right? They accidentally sacrificed the dinosaurs, but we will create this new race, and it'll be even better. I think the problem is they ended up realizing that
Humans are not easy.
humans
easy to-
fucking suck.
Yeah, humans are not easy to govern. They say it too. You guys have all this data on things that kill you, and you continue to,
You double down on it.
you just do them. Yeah, I mean,
Double it
that's-
and pass it to the next person.
But also like that kind of fired me up too. I'm like, fuck these people or these these Andromedons. Like get them out of my world. I also loved the costume design. They intentionally just make Emma Stone look like a fucking alien when they shave her head, and they show her with this like lathered up cream on her. And
Yeah,
shit.
the ointment they rub on her.
And these eerie shots of her in this basement. It just looks like something you're gonna see in actual like Ridley Scott alien movie or some weird shit. It doesn't look like a xenomorph, but like that old school big-eyed alien.
I like the way they dressed her up just because I feel like personally it made Jesse Plemons' character even more crazy. It made you feel like you did not want to believe him whatsoever. The fact he's got Donnie shaving her head in the backseat, like, make sure you cut off all her hair real quick. You're like, dude, it can
He was
wait.
right.
Like, but that's the thing. He was right in the end. That's what made it so good. Because when you're watching this scene initially, you're like, dude, she's not contacting her mothership with her fucking hair. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then when she's actually on the ship, they're like, yo, we couldn't get a hold of you. Where'd your hair go?
No, it was almost kind of funny. I mean, the destruction of the human race too. I mean, that scene was probably a little 5 seconds, 10 seconds too long for me. I understood what was going on. I mean, it was impactful. I wasn't like the biggest fan, honestly, of the ship itself, like the alien ship. I thought it was too green screeny and ridiculous.
They kind of looked
looking.
like Thumb People from Spy Kids a little bit, but with long hair, beautiful hair. But I mean, who the fuck knows what aliens look like? You know, they could look like that.
No, yeah. I think that was just a little odd for me, but nonetheless, it didn't take anything away from like the cinematography. The music was so good too. It was almost, I kind of thought it was horror music. A lot of those initial scenes when you're learning more and more about the plot, I knew from the trailer that they were going to kidnap her and you know that's kind of building up. They're wearing these when they wear like Jennifer Aniston masks or something.
Something crazy.
I think it was Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, that scene was like funny when they were kidnapping her.
And she's beating the shit out.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Emma Stone at this point too, because obviously like kidnapping is not good. But
dude, the best is when
that on
I
record.
think it's Dottie's character tried to spray her or whatever, and it's having zero effect on her. Like he's completely missing her.
No,
he's
that
like
was Jesse
6
Plemons
feet away. Oh, Jesse
at the
Plemons.
door. Yeah,
Like tried to spray her, and he's just like too far away for it to even do anything.
that had to actually be those guys acting that out. I would imagine because they were so bad at fighting. They were. I don't know. It was just like it was a kind of a funny scene, and just yeah. I mean the cinematography was very good. We could probably just touch on the writing here. Yeah, I mean not many plot holes I could think of. The only big one was kind of the end when she just goes into the office. I feel like most people would have stopped that before she got to her office. I mean, she's limping in with this random dude after being missing for days, like 3 days. I don't think that made a whole lot of sense. I get that she runs this whole company, so she could do whatever she wants. To me, it would have just been... I don't know. I'm nitpicking here. Overall, I don't think there were many plot holes at all. And we touched on just how well the characters played with each other. The relationship...
The dialogue between Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone is perfect. It was the perfect representation of, again, those schizo conspiracy theorists deep in the Reddit threads. And Jesse Plemons just spewing all that at her versus the mega big pharma corporation head CEO spewing bullshit right back. Both her trying to manipulate the situation, him trying to get these ludicrous ideas and points across to her, and it's just the battle of the two extremes.
Yeah.
And then Donnie over there is just
trying to take a piss. He's trying to take a leak.
Donnie was like a representation of a normal person, just trying to get about their day, just taking in whatever is coming at him. And unfortunately, he got the shit under the stick.
But I also think
Well,
Donnie's character made so much sense, and I loved... I didn't mention this, or I might have touched on it. There's only 5 characters that have lines in this movie, I think. Aside from, like, the news reporter that reports are missing. I literally think it's Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Donnie... His actor name I pulled up, because we got to give this guy credit. Aiden Delbus is his name. He's not in, like, anything. This is, like, his second thing he's been in. First like, co-star role. But him being that... He was sort of the... I don't know. To me, I just don't think Jesse Plemons carries any of this out if he doesn't have Donnie's support with him. Because at the end of the day, he's this fiery Reddit conspiracy theorist, but he's a pussy. You know, like, he can't fight. He doesn't have any power or wealth. He's just acting on his own accord, and Donnie, like, helps him actually carry all this out, you know?
He needs someone validating his actions almost like a yes man. And the fact that Donnie's not even a yes man. Donnie's timid the whole time. He's constantly pushing back and is like, I don't know if this is the right thing to do.
Right.
But Jesse Plemons needs him to keep going through with it. He's like, no, trust me. I'm saving you. I'm doing you a favor, Donnie. I'm trying to save you.
And he doesn't have any friends. Why do you think Jesse Plemons has no friends? Because all his friends that are not autistic are like, dude, you're fucking crazy. Like, no, I'm not going to
he's probably
kidnap.
fucking killed him. He's a
either
fucking
or.
crazy person.
Either or. Yeah. So this was a great movie. I would recommend this to anybody. I already have today. I've told a few people about it. Definitely go watch Begonia.
Right when I saw this movie, it reminded me of 2 movies. Right when I saw the trailer of Begonia, it reminded me of 2 movies. One was 10 Cloverfield Lane. Just that idea of...
Very good comparison, yeah.
Just the idea of that girl being dragged down into the bunker. John Goodman's character's like, look, I saved you. The Ruskies are taking over up there, all right? Like, you're safe down here. And the rest of the movie is her like, wait, is he just trapping me in his bunker? Is he gonna do something? Or like, what the fuck is actually going on up there? And then eventually you realize aliens took over. Another movie that this reminded me of was M. Night Shyamalan's A Knock at the Cabin.
I haven't seen that. That's new though, right? That's Dave
It's
Bautista.
a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit newer, and it's got that same idea where Dave Bautista and his group of characters are approaching this couple and their child, and it's like, look, we need to sacrifice one of y'all to save the human race. And unfortunately in that movie, there's no the ending just kind of muffles everything else that happens prior. It's just kind of like a shitty ending. You don't get any sense of gratification at the end of it. This movie, though, I don't know. I just loved it from the very start to the very end.
Yeah,
even though the ending is the human race being annihilated.
Right,
like,
but it has like a light touch to it. It's more of an informative, this maybe could happen. I mean, there's definitely, I think there's aliens out there. I mean, there has to be.
Yeah.
And they also tied in the B reference from the very beginning to the very end. The one line, too, that I still remember. I didn't even write this down. It might not be completely verbatim, but the first couple of sentences that Jesse Plemons says when the movie starts, he's like, bees, they collect pollen and then they plant their seed in a different part of a new flower. He's like, it's basically like sex, but no one gets hurt. And I loved that line, because even he realizes that humans, they definitely have their flaws, but he's still representing humanity. Like, he is trying to kill aliens in his fucking basement. And
dude, this movie had quite a lot of humor in it. That
it does.
Was like surprising. That scene where they finally capture her, bring her down to the basement, it just pans upstairs, and it's just Dottie and Jesse Plemons' characters holding each other, just bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
I made a lot of weird gestures this podcast, but
yeah, no, that was weird. I mean, a lot of unsettling. Not that many unsettling parts. There's a couple weird, gory things that happen, but just a lot of good things to this movie.
The human race being exterminated was unsettling, but
yeah, that wasn't too great.
But I will say there was another. I mean, just some of the lines that they wrote in this, and then the delivery of the lines were so great. There was one towards the start of the movie, or right when they capture Emma Stone, and they're observing her in the basement, and he's talking to Donnie, and he's just like, I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's along the lines of, I've never seen one this good. Something along the lines. And right then it clicked. I was like, oh, he's done this before. He's fucking kidnapped people and tortured people and probably killed handfuls of people to get to this point. And I just thought, like, I mean, again, all credits to Jesse Plemons, all credits to Emma Stone. This movie just fucking knocked it out the park for me.
Yeah. I honestly thought we were going to have a scene, too, where Jesse Plemons gets cleaned up for once and takes a shower, and he just never does. Like, he's biking with blood all over him. You know, that house smelled like shit. Even when they were recording it, it probably smelled like shit.
Yeah, no. I don't even think he knows what a shower is anymore.
All right, let's do the scores here. Wrap this up. I went entertainment. I went 8.2.
Entertainment. I went 9.5.
Characters. I went 8.9.
9.1.
Are you gonna beat me on all of these?
Yep.
Cinematography. I went 8.5.
9.4.
Damn. And then writing. I went 8.0.
Writing. I went 8.9.
We have a final score here of an 8.8 for Begonia. I mean, it's very good score.
That's very good score.
Yeah. So you could go check out all of our scores. They're on our website, which is linked in our YouTube bio and in our podcast bio. So if you're listening or watching on YouTube, make sure to go check those out if you're interested in any of our other movie reviews. And we will see you next time.
Deuces.